A very good morning to all. In today's video, what we are going to discuss is the structure of atom. In our previous video, we discussed about electricity, its definition, and how the electricity is caused, and we had just verified the type of electric charges with the help of the experiment. Now, let us start with the structure of atom. We know that every matter is made up of small particle which is known as atoms. Thus, we can say that atoms are the building blocks of the matter. Such as cell is the building block of all living organism. Thus, we can say that atoms are the building blocks of a matter. Now, when atoms combine together, they forms a molecule, and ultimately when molecules combine, they form a cell. So, we can say that an atom is also made up of some of the subatomic particles. Basically, we have the subatomic particles which are common to all the elements irrespective of the chemical properties of the element. Okay, so one kind of subatomic particles were found to have a charge similar to the charge produced on ebonite rod. Okay, so as we have studied in our previous video that we rubbed the ebonite rod, and we saw that on ebonite rod negative charge developed, and we named it as electron. So basically we can say then that the atom has three subatomic particle named electron, proton, and neutron. So in the center of the atom there is a dense which is known as a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, the two subatomic particles are present. One is proton and the other one is neutron. Proton has a positive charge, neutron has zero charge, therefore which combines together to form a positive charge. When we combine positive charge with a neutral charge, that means the charge on nucleus is positive, which is very dense. Now, outside this nucleus, there is a large number of orbits in which the electrons are free to revolve. And these are known as orbits. The path in which the electrons move are known as either orbits or shell. Now, the electrons which are very close to the center, like these two, they are very close to the center. Okay, that means they are strongly attracted to the nucleus with a strong electrostatic force, whereas the electrons which are far from the nucleus, which are lying in the shell, since they are far, their distance is more, so we can say that they are less attracted to the center, and thus they have a weak electrostatic force. Therefore, the electrons which are very far from the center, that means which are loosely held to the nucleus, are free to revolve, and thus we can say that electrons which are free to revolve are known as free electrons, and these free electrons are only responsible for the generation of electricity. So, in order to understand how these free electrons generate electricity, we can have its description in theory of electric current. Okay, now like this is a conductor, this is the atom, because every conductor is made up of atom. Okay, and outside the atom we can see the outermost shell, it is having electron. Now when we will supply a potential difference across it, the electron is moving and will come in contact with the other and will get transferred to the other atom, then simultaneously to the other, and so on the process will go. We can say that atom got transferred from one atom to another, and thus this moving charge generates electric current in a circuit or in a conductor. So basically, since we know that electric current is because of the flow of only electron, that is negatively charged particle, therefore we have that negatively charged particle moves from negative terminal to the positive terminal, and thus the current is moving from positive to the negative. So we can have this as the structure of atom, the central part, which is nucleus. Inside the nucleus we have proton and neutron, which together is known as nuclei, and thus the overall charge on the nucleus is positive because of the positive charge of the proton. Now, protons are accumulated on nucleus, that is inside the nucleus they are, and electrons are arranged in the orbit, the outermost orbit which is just surrounding the nucleus. In these, the electrons are revolving. Protons are positive charge and electrons are negative charge, and neutrons are with no charge. Now, look at this. This is the 29 representing the copper atom. So, in the copper atom, the outermost shell have only one electron which is free to move. So, they will constantly move. If we just hide this nucleus and the outermost orbit, the electrons movement will look like something like this. That is, they are in random direction. Now, as soon as we will apply the potential difference to it, we will apply the potential difference, and we will give them the electricity, or we will just connect them, or we will, if we will connect the conductor with the wire, what we will see that as soon as we apply the potential difference, the electrons are arranged in a particular direction and their motion will be in a particular direction, just as like these are in random motion, and now they are having a proper motion as they are aligned in a particular direction. Okay, so this arrangement is only because when we applied a potential difference. Now this is a simple electric circuit or a copper wire which is showing that e to the power negative means electron is flowing from negative terminal and is moving to positive terminal, whereas the direction of current, that is I, is reverse of it. It is moving from positive terminal and is towards the negative terminal. Thus we can say that the flow of electric current, conventional electricity or conventional electric charge is different or is opposite to the flow of electron. Okay, now we have learned that in the nucleus, since there is only proton and electron, and the nucleus is overall positive, whereas on the outer shell we have the electrons, and we know that electron number is always equals to proton number. That means in every atom the number of electron is equal to the number of proton. So n say n cancel, and since the electron is equals to the number of proton and they are with different signs, so if you will add them together, they both will cancel out each other and we get 0 as the result. Thus we can say that overall charge on the atom is neutral. That means atom is electrically neutral because the number of proton is equals to the number of electron. Thus, just coming to the conclusion, the free electrons, that means the electrons which are present in the outermost shell or outermost orbit and which are loosely held to the nucleus with this weak electrostatic force, are only responsible for the electrification of the body. What do you mean by electrification? That means when we rub two bodies, they get charged. Okay, this is known as electrifying or electrification of the body. Okay, so during the process of rubbing, the electrons from one body get transferred to the other. Now, if the body is positive electrified, what does it mean? See, if the body is positively charged, that means there is a deficiency or there is a shortage of electron or the negative charge. And if the body is negatively charged, there means there is a shortage of positive charge. So thus we can say that though during rubbing the electrons get transferred from one atom to another, but the total number of charges in a body remain constant, and hence the total electric charges inside a body is conserved. So now hope this will clear your doubt to much extent. Thank you for watching.